Alright, this one is about the assignment called Taxes, Federal 1040. So you'll have to pay attention to the lesson and kind of go back and forth between the assignment problems and the lesson, because there's some charts in there that you're going to have to use. When you're looking at taxes, you're going to have to look at the chart in order to figure some things out. So here's a couple examples of using that chart. So first example, Mary Hernandez earned $43,000 of taxable income, and she is single. And this is important because these tables are designed by what marital status you are. So there's single, there's married filing jointly, there's married filing separate, and there's also head of household. But they're not going to get into too much of that. This one is that she's single, so it's a pretty simple form. So the form kind of reads, and you'll have several things to fill out. You'll say find her earned income level. So what you're going to do is go to that chart for single people and find where on that chart her income falls. So it actually falls in the third line that's in between two numbers. Okay? So that's kind of where we want to focus our attention. And so it says enter the base amount. So if you look at that same line, it says that there's some amount plus a percentage of the rest. So in this case, the base amount is $4,386. But then it says plus a percentage. So the next thing on our homework, on this problem says find the amount over the lowest amount in that box. So we need to find the amount that is over the lower number in that line. And so over 31,850 is the lowest you can be in that row. So what we do is we need to take her 43,000 and subtract the 31,850. So when we do that, we get $11,150. Okay, so now we need to keep that number in mind, because then the next question asked is multiply line 3 by 25%. So we need to take the 11,150 and multiply it by 25%. Now remember, we don't actually multiply by percentage, we change that to a decimal. So 11,150 times 0.25 gives us 2787.50. So how do we figure out her tax? Well, remember it says that we have a base amount, which is $4,386, they told us, and now this new amount, which is $2787.50, and the grand total that we're looking for is $7,173.50. So this is how much tax she would owe. Next example, Tim estimates his taxable income will be $7,000. $7,000. He is paid twice a month or 24 times a year. So when he gets his paycheck, he gets 24 of them in a year. Because he has only one source of income, he uses tax tables to estimate how much will be deducted from his pay for withholding. So what he's trying to do is determine if he has enough money getting taken out for taxes all along in his paychecks, so that he won't have to owe tax when he has to do when it's time for taxes in April. So the first question says find his tax rate for his income level. So again, we need to go to that chart for the single person and find where his income falls. And if we look, the very first line said $0 to just above, 7,000. So he's in that first level, and that level has 10% associated with it if you look a little bit further to the right. So that's his tax rate. Now enter the base amount. Well, because we're at the start, there is no base amount, so the base amount is $0. Enter the amount of tax owed. So that means we need to take his taxable income, $7,000, and multiply it by 10% as a decimal. And so his amount of tax owed is $700. Now, the next thing it asks us to do, it says divide by what? So because we want to break up what he is going to owe, we need to break it up into how many paychecks he has. And so he has 24 paychecks. So we need to divide by 24. So we take 700 divided by 24. And so there should be $29.16 taken out of every paycheck for taxes. So what he can do is monitor his paychecks every time he gets them, make sure that there's $29.16 getting taken out for taxes, and then he'll be pretty safe as long as he doesn't make more income than that, that he won't owe taxes when it comes time. So that's the end of this recording. Now you need to call, text, or Skype message me so I can ask you a couple of questions, and have a great day.